Hello, everybody. Today I have a lovely story for you called Rice from Heaven, The Secret Mission to Feed North Koreans. The author is Tina Cho, and the illustrations are by Kem Jin Song. And the illustrations are very beautiful, very vivid and colourful. The story is quite short, so I think I'd like to give you a little bit of background information to this story. So just to explain that Korea is a country that is split in two. There's a north and a south, and it's in East Asia, and North Korea borders China and Russia. So sadly, in Korea, there was a war between the north and the south in 1950, and this war went on for a few years, but it ended in a stalemate, which means basically nobody won the war, and the country decided to separate for good. So life in North Korea was and still is today very hard for some people. They have very little food and they don't have a lot of freedom. And so this is what our story today is about. And what's interesting about today's story is that it's based on real events that actually happened only 4 years ago in South Korea. And the author, Tina Cho, actually took part in this event. And that's what you're going to hear about today. Herself and her community really wanted to get food to the people who were very hungry in North Korea. And they came up with a very clever and quite magical plan. So we will begin. You can see here in the end pages, images of the rice, the precious food that the North Koreans so badly needed. Out in the countryside, across a bridge to an island blanketed with rice fields, Appa and I ride. Appa means daddy or father in Korean. We reach a place where mountains become a wall so high no one dares to climb. And if you look down in the village here, you can see villagers preparing for their covert mission. A covert mission is a secret mission. Beyond that wall and across the sea live children just like me, except they do not have enough food to eat. And I think this picture really shows us the difference between North Korea and South Korea. You can see that things are more colourful and plentiful, whereas in North Korea you can see things are quite bare and dull and not a lot of vegetation or plants growing at all. North Korea is a gigantic empty rice bowl with a government that does nothing to help its people. Appa grew up there. Starving, he escaped down here to the south. So in our story, you'll meet Yuri, and this is her daddy. And he used to live in North Korea, but he escaped down to the south for a better life. I am a little grain of rice. How can I help? Appa says we can help in secret. Tonight, we will send special balloons carrying rice over the border to North Korea. And here is where you see the helium gas canisters and the bags of rice. And what are these? You will soon see. The sky darkens. We need a downpour to grow the grains of hope. From out of a shed, friends from church and I carry containers of rice to a launching pad. But the mission is interrupted. Villagers glare and grumble. Don't feed the enemy, children chant. The hope in my heart withers like a dying rice stalk. Ignore them, Yuri, Appa says. A mean-looking boy stomps up to us and raises his hands. I freeze with my feet planted firmly in the mud. And then words come spilling out of me like grains of rice tumbling out of a bag. We have to do this. We must help. North Korean children have no rice. They have no green fields like we do. They eat grass and bark from trees. Eyes stare at the boy. His face reddens. Teardrops and rain wash away the dirt of his actions. They eat grass, he asks. I did not know that. I am very sorry. I will share the rice from my father's field. Winds of change charge the air with quiet hope. Appa hugs and showers me with kisses. You are my strong sunflower, he says. Dressed in her poncho, an older girl holding a rice bag moves close to me. Thank you for helping, she whispers. I used to be one of those hungry children, eating once a day or not at all. I bow low, but the hope in my heart grows tall. We gather in groups to start our mission. Air wishes into the balloon like a snake let loose, slithering, impatient to be released, until a rice bag is tied onto its tail. With a little push, the balloon soars. Up, up, up. The stars and moon hide under the rain clouds as 200 balloons creep over the mountains like stealthy ninjas to fight hunger in the darkness of the night. Under the glow from a street lamp, I pray that North Korean soldiers do not spot the balloons. My heart is like a bubbly, steaming rice pot, full of hope. I smile. In the morning, hungry children will find rice from heaven. I hope you enjoyed the story.